I have some pictures, and they're kind of gruesome, so I will be putting them up throughout this video for you to see. So hi guys, this is gonna be a very short video, and the reason why I'm doing it is because that, well, I said that I might do an update around the 7th or 10th day with my new port. Well, something happened today that made me have to de-access, and I went ahead and played around and re-accessed. Today I was going to sit down on the couch, and well, I pulled my Huber needle out. My leg got caught in my tubing and pulled it out. I have done that one other time. That was 4 years ago. I got my tubing caught on one of the doors to my cabinet, and it pulled it out. When that happens, it really hurts. I mean, you have no idea unless you've done it yourself. It really hurts. This time, however, I pulled the port completely out. It dragged. It plowed its way through my skin, and I'm having a little bit of pain from that right now. So I put ice on it, and my husband's like, well, because I had to have him help me because, well, I was bleeding, and it took me a minute to get it to stop. So my husband's like, well, you know, just wait until tomorrow and re-access it. So he went to bed about 2 hours ago, I think, maybe 3. And me being me decided, no, let's try this. So I had my regular Braun Win safety needles that I really like, and that's a 3/4 inch 22 gauge, and I had the Power Lock by Bard, which is a 1 inch 22 gauge, and then I had another brand which is a 1.5 inch, and it's a 19 gauge. And let me just tell you, that is a very scary looking needle, much less knowing you have to put that through your chest. You know, these other needles, you know, are pretty intimidating enough, and then you get this big needle, and we're talking about a nice sized needle. Not just the length. The length doesn't bother me so much. It's the size of the needle, and I'm just thinking, oh my god. And it's hurting as I'm putting it in. So okay, we do the Power Lock first. And I'm not quite sure. I'm putting it through the same hole that my surgeon did, but I'm trying to be careful trying to find it, because I'm still not really feeling a whole lot. There's like still some swelling and whatever, so I'm like, okay, well, let's do this. And I thought, well, maybe I got it. I pull back, I'm getting blood, but it's not, you know, the deep red or the bright red. It's more like old blood. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'm getting it, I'm flushing, and I'm pulling back, I'm still getting it. So I'm like, okay, well, let's do the 4x4, double, triplet over, whatever, and hold it in and do this. Well, then all of a sudden, I'm trying to push it to see if I taste anything. I'm not tasting anything, but I'm noticing I am infiltrating. So as I'm taking it off, it just starts coming all out. So I'm having to get stuff to stop that. I've got blood all over me. So everything has to come off except for my panties. Throw it in the bathtub, run cold water over it so all that will come out in the wash. So then I don't let that stop me. I get everything back all over again. I go in the bedroom, get everything. I bring it all out. I do the 1.5. And before I could even do that, I had to get all this other stuff, get it to quit bleeding, because I just had all this stuff up inside me. It just would not stop. And it was old blood. And so then I'm like, okay, I think this is where it's at. It's over to the side, because it's still so swollen. I'm feeling it. I'm just kind of like blindly feeling where it feels like it is. So I'm thinking it's a little bit more to the right of where he hit it. So I'm like, oh God. And so I put it in, and then I close my eyes as I'm putting it in. I'm like, well, is it in there? I'm not really feeling anything, but, you know, it feels like I'm hitting something. I don't know what I'm hitting. Okay, well, so I pull back. Still getting old blood. So I did this with 4 syringes. And as I'm doing it, though, I had bruises all the way around. But each time I'm pulling back with another syringe, the bruising is leaving and the swelling is going down dramatically. And I'm noticing that this is the pool of blood that was the swelling and the bruising. So I keep pulling all this old blood out till finally the 1.5-inch needle is like just almost not even in my skin. So I take it out and I clean myself up again. I get a new kit open and I redo my skin, and I'm feeling around and I'm like, you know what? Right there's my port. Right there's 2 nubs. It's in it's in the middle of my scar. So I'm like, okay, I can do this with one of my 3/4-inch Braun safety wind needles that I love so much. So we get it together, and I'm feeling, I really don't need to see, but because I only feel 2, I'm kind of close to the mirror, and I'm kind of looking, and I'm making sure, and I stick it, and I get the right blood, and it flushes right. I'm tasting the sodium chloride. Everything's good. I get the, I flush it, pull it back, still getting good blood. So then this has to have something on it. So then I doctor it and I put something on it because I don't want to just put the Tegaderm over, you know, just over that opening and where it really hurts right now, where the Huber needle just plowed a row in my skin. I mean, the opening closes really quickly. I mean, it heals quickly, but I just need to cover it up. I don't need to have, you know, plastic on it right away. So it at first was really hard to access because it had all this old blood in it, and I guess if I hadn't have even tried, I may not have known that, you know, well, I mean, I read that, you know, if you push all this stuff in it, you can pull it all out with a syringe. And so when I knew that I had all this old blood, I was like, well, you know, why don't I just pull out until I can't pull anymore? And so since this was just underneath my skin, that's what I did. I just kept pulling until I had no more pools of blood underneath my skin, and there's no more bruises, and now my skin is where it's supposed to be, up against my body on the inside. So I don't hurt like I was, but I mean, I'm still having some pain where I pulled my Huber needle out, which caused trauma to my body and my skin, and where it plowed a hole. You know, you have to be careful with these things. And since I haven't done this in 4 years, you know, I've got a pretty good track record. I just need to make my length with my backpack a little bit shorter. That's it. If I hadn't pulled off the blood, I probably still wouldn't have been able to find my port, because it was that swollen. It was just like, well, I don't know, is that it? Is that it? Because I couldn't feel anything. There was just, it was too much swelling. There was too much stuff on me for me to feel it. But once I pulled the blood off, I was able to feel it, and I knew then I was going to be able to use my 3/4 Huber needle. So anyway, that's the update, and I guess I will see you guys later. Have a good night.